I will be in Chicago this week. They're having like a Lucha Libre festival, and I'll be at Bound for Glory. And so come out. Durban already sent me an email wanting me to sign some figurines. You will be charged for that, Durban.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
I blocked Get My Go on Twitter.
I like that.
I blocked them. Okay?
That already blocked them. What happened?
Let me tell you why. Because the idiot who runs the site, Durban?
Yes.
He posted, "Hey, Disco, what's your size?" And he had it Addicted to the Blade T-shirt.
Okay.
That's a pain.
He's asking for it. And that you know what that is? That's almost like, you know how they now have suicide by police?
Right.
Where you just run at them so they can. That was a suicide by police.
Right.
Right. It's a bucket. I know what's coming. I'll take the bullets for this lame ass joke. Well,
I hope the post was worth it, Mike. But you're blocked.
Yeah, right.
Okay? So I hope it was worth it. You got over your little Get My Go community. Like, hey, this goes funny right here. Whatever.
Hell of a deal.
And it was like I think it was one of those apps where you can that is not for sale what he showed you. So it wasn't even a possibility to make money. It was just a little thing he did on his phone. You know?
Yeah.
Well, he got blocked. I like that.
Yeah.
Continue with those blocks.
And banned from the show for minimum 1 month from this show. From
Shit. There you go, Mike.
I like that. Hopefully there's no NWA show.
Well, he's on probation anyway. We already had chastised him and kicked him off the show for a week for the same thing. And it's like the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over. Right?
Expecting different results.
Yep. So, I don't know what he's expecting. So
it's like the mouse in the maze where one way you get cheese, but the other way you just keep hitting that buzzer and you never learn.
Never learn.
All right. Let's get it going right here, right now. This is Get My Go, and you're listening to or watching, maybe both, on an all-new episode of Get My Go, episode number 85 of Get My Go. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad, and every single week or every single episode, I'm joined here by the panel of greatness, the Get My Go team that we've assembled that consists of the man behind Get My Go, the one and only Mike Durban, and the great and lovable, the man requested by the Get My Go universe, the one and only Aussie Guy.
Dean, do you know it's been almost a full year since you and I have been on a show together?
Yeah, I was thinking the other day. I don't remember the last thing I did.
It was the Christmas. It was the Christmas episode.
It was the one under. Yeah. I couldn't remember what the last thing I did. I've done a few things with Chad and Husey along the way, but it's fucking been a long time since I've done a Get My Go. I did a couple of fake ones. Like I say, I
wouldn't call those fake. Those are fully authorized. They're not like superstar sessions.
I was getting worried there for a few minutes.
They count. Yeah. Perfectly rated.
I was getting worried about perfectly rated. Look, I mean, I tried to start a perfectly rated YouTube channel, and it just wasn't worth continuing fully. I still might, but doing those episodes especially the one that we kept posting on the Get My Go channel was a week we were going to record, and then we didn't, but we were all ready, so we just jumped on and recorded. So I wanted everybody to see it, so you threw it on the channel, and it's authorized. But I got to be honest with you, I was nervous that it had superstar session vibes. I got to be honest with you, I was nervous for a little bit. I sweated. I'm not going to lie.
No, it was good. Well, we were supposed to be joined by Joe Feeney also, but surprise, he's not answering his phone. He's not answering texts. So maybe he'll pop on later. We don't know.
Should insert something from the early days from one of John's rants about how you could never get a hold of Joe or whatever.
Yeah. How he goes on a walkabout.
Yeah,
and can't get a hold of him. Yeah, well, he's not answering me. So this episode will be a variety of topics. I've got a bunch of short clips, and then there is one main thing I wanted to do at the end, but we're just going to start off with a few short clips. But before that, I have we got some merchandise, I guess. We have Get My Go stickers now. The Get My Go sticker pack is now available. Chad, you got yours right there. There's like four
right there.
There's 4 or 5 stickers. One of them is the great bottom right, which was the Chadster's idea. And then the different logos that we've had over the season. So if you want these, I'm going to start getting more of these made. They're made by Angry Lemonade. If you want them, you have to join our Facebook group, the Get My Go Facebook group, and message me on there. or you can DM the Get My Go Twitter at Get My Go Show. Please do not message me on Facebook. Do it on Twitter or in the group. And I'm going to be making a lot more of these. I know I made like a small run. I sent them to Chad and Joe and I think Kevin Murray, Matt Wilson, and a couple other people got them. But we're going to have more of them available. And we may have the shirts available on Angry Lemonade coming up in the future, because I'm so sick of pro wrestling tees and their bullshit.
Oh my God. Do they want to take any longer to respond to messages and then ship the shit out?
Yeah.
I mean, the last shirt that I created, it took almost a month to get it on the site and then get it out to me. Like, I understand they're a big entity, but I mean, take care of the little guy as well.
Yeah. I mean, my main problem with them is that they keep printing everything crooked. Like, I don't know why that's an issue. Like, if the machine prints it crooked, if the guy running the machine puts it in crooked, I mean, where's the quality control? Like, check it before you mail it out to somebody. If somebody's paying like $25 or $30 with shipping, and then they add this little 2% handling fee now on everything. No matter if it's a poster, a figure, or a shirt, they put 2% extra on everything. I mean, come on, dude. My friend ordered one of the V-Spark shirts, which is our former band, and they sent it to him, and I'm telling you, it was like this. It was so fucking crooked. I'm like, how would they send that out? It looks awful, I told him to try and get a refund or a reprint, but it's just so hard. Yeah, like you said, Chad, they don't answer. They take forever to answer. They're real snotty. There's such arrogant people that work there. Like, dude, you work at Pro Wrestling Tees. It's not. You don't work for the WWE.
Look, it's what happens when you get over doing something. You can look down and be as much of a dick as you want because you've achieved some sort of greatness. So you earn that level of chip on that shoulder. So yeah. Pro Wrestling Tees, hats off to you.
Sorry, it's like anything, isn't it? Like, something starts out as for the little guy, and that's what Pro Wrestling Tees was. Yeah. It was to help out fucking indie wrestlers to sell merch because, it was so hard for them to sell merch. And now all of a sudden they're affiliated with AEW and all that, and they don't give a fuck about the little guy anymore. It's just it's pump out shirts. So
and they have the estate of like Andre the Giant and Macho Man and all this stuff. It's like, come a long way from like begging a podcast and telling them, you have to have like 500 downloads to be able to have a podcast t-shirt on our platform. It's come a long way. That's for damn sure.
I mean, dude,
that's why my shirt's on the Mike Durbin Pro Wrestling Tee store. 500 listeners, that's a fucking dream.
Yeah, like, dude, I make big bulk orders from there. Like, I order like 10 or 15 shirts of my own stuff at once. I'm spending $200 to $300 on these orders, and like half of them will show up and they're crooked. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, why don't you do this right? How do you send this out to somebody that paid for this? It's terrible.
One wash and you get a belly shirt. It's like the quality is always off.
Yeah,
it's definitely dropped greatly over the years, and it's a shame because they really did have a very good operation and they made things easier. I'll tell you, that's why when I did the perfectly rated shirts, I took it to a local printer. I had them in 2 weeks. I was able to reorder them really fast, and I had them again in 2 weeks, and they were perfect. So
yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? Again, you get to a certain level. It's easy to look down, treat people like shit, have a shoddy product, and, be a dick about it.
Yep. Well, guys, it's fall right now. Do you guys remember what was supposed to happen in the fall?
Was there supposed to be a trip or something?
No. It was something that was announced like in the spring, but it was promised that it would come out in the fall.
Oh man, my go brain is racked here. I can't think of anything. No. Gee, what happened to this show? Wow, yes, that's right.
The Almost Infamous podcast, and it was going to be on the Rad Rob Radio Network, and it was going to be featuring Pete Paccio. Pete posted about it. It said, coming soon, fall of 2023, stories from my life in podcasting form regarding wrestling, music, Chicago outfit, talent handling, working the clubs. Almost Infamous. And then Rob commented, can't wait to see what shit we can stir up, bro. Pete replied, it's going to be epic. Do you know why this may not be out? Remember what happened?
I don't know if you have Pete's Twitter feed or some of the posts he was liking.
Yeah, he was liking and retweeting them.
Yes.
Oh, he was retweeting them?
Yeah, he was like he was quote tweeting him, I think.
Oh boy.
He was I guess he's a fan of African American transgender porno. And he was retweeting a bunch of those clips saying like, "Ooh, yeah, like that's what daddy likes," and things like that. I hope it's still up there. I gotta find it.
Gotta say, didn't have that one on my bingo card, as they say.
Well, it's funny because Rob started promoting this thing, and then so I was just like, all right, he's put the guy's Twitter. I'll just click on the guy's Twitter, and it was like 2 tweets down. I was like, dude, you didn't go through anything. Not that I give a shit. Like, I'd still podcast with a guy if he's taking tranny dick or whatever. Who cares? But I don't know if you're gonna have to censor that, Mark, or not. But yeah, you'd think with Rob's religious beliefs, just a small vetting process of click on his Twitter page, you know.
Maybe that was their angle, you know, like inside the stories, they were going to do like a moral thing, because we know Rob kind of carries himself on the moral high ground. You know, that's his platform in recent years, you know, pushing the God angle. You know, he does that very frequently. This one kind of goes against that. And it was a shocker. I have to say, it was a shocker. And again, not that there's anything wrong with that. We have to preface it in this day and time. But I just gotta say, I don't think anybody saw that coming. I'm just to be honest with you. It's a shocker. I'm sorry. When you see it, it's just a shocker.
After that was discovered, there was no more posts about it. So I don't know. Maybe it's not happening, unfortunately. I was waiting for it.
I was surprised to see that he's 6'4", like it says in the graphic, you know, when he's up against that you know, the police lineup thing. He's up to 6'4". I thought that was pretty shocking because he looks like he's about 5'3". But his little mohawk thing maybe gets him to 6'4". But yeah, I guess RIP to that show.
Yeah, we'll never get off the ground. Mike, have you followed at all of what Rob's up to? Because I honestly have no idea. He blocked me on Twitter, and I really didn't give a shit anymore. He's very boring, but yeah. Yeah,
I think he's still doing that bowling show.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really tweet that much. It's like all he does is retweet, like, you know, 100 things per day, but nothing. It's really none of his commentary or anything like that. So who knows? Let's see.
The bowling show I always thought had his best chance of finding an audience, like where you've got a legit bowler, you know, son of a legend. Yeah, I think that's the one he should spend his most time on. That's got the most legs. You might find a good chunk of audience and make some money off it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, Joe's not going to be on with us today. Joe was on another show recently, and Chad, you loved the episode he was on.
No.
What was that again? What was
California?
Yeah, California.
Insider's Edge.
Insider's Edge, that's right. And Carl has complained in the past about, you know, he's not able to get guests on the show anymore.
Yes, very outwardly complained about it.
Yeah. Well,
I felt bad for the guy. I got to be honest with you. I felt bad for him.
Someone's come up with a solution for that problem.
That sounds familiar.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Podstars team.
That it certainly has been, because I want to tell you about bringing in big names to your podcast. Are you having trouble getting A-list guests to interview for your podcast? Isn't it frustrating that no one responds to your requests and your DMs on social media or your emails that you send? Your time is too valuable to be constantly chasing prospective guests down. So let the Podstars website do all the heavy lifting for you. Podstars is a brand new innovative podcast booking site that has an unbelievable catalog of athletes, musicians, actors, and even first responders all at your disposal for your podcasts. The Podstars website has Major League Baseball players such as Lenny Dykstra and Bud Norris, WNBA and NFL players, and even American Gladiator Laser ready to be interviewed right now. Podstars has more than 30 wrestling superstars ready to rumble on your pod, like the world's most dangerous man and UFC Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, WWE and Impact Hall of Famer Devon Dudley, Santino Marella, WWE Hall of Famer and ad-free shows podcast host Jake the Snake Roberts, Eric Bischoff. Getting big names for your podcast, it adds a lot of equity, doesn't it?
It does. And somebody was thinking, you know, I've often thought as I've watched the podcast universe blow up, you know, and especially when, you know, I go to the podcast movement conventions once a year,
And it goes on for like 2 more minutes after that. But Dean, what do you have to say, Dean?
Look, again, isn't this just? I assume this is another example of Conrad cashing in on some of the celebrities that he's got to know over the years. But what isn't one of the problems? I assume you're paying for this service.
Yeah,
and like that's the problem with podcasting is paying these guests because they don't give a shit about anybody, and you don't get anything good out of anyone. But yeah, by all means, go ahead.
Literally, my number one no in podcasting is paying for your guests because it directs the interview in a certain way. It's basically telling you have to stick to this, and this. Now, I have to say, from another perspective, it is a way for the wrestlers to make money and other folks to make money because they are taking time out of their day and they will consider it a booking. Okay. But from your show point of view, you are already saying, I'm not credible. Here's money. Just come on my show. And that's the only way I can book you. Right. Is Alba involved with that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if that was just a sponsor for them or it's something.
So he created that awful. Did he create that just wretched, awful, terrible sound clip that preceded that that long drawn out read?
That sounds familiar.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Podstars team.
That was one of the corniest. You could bleep this sounding ad read or ad lead in I've ever heard in my life. This just absolute sounding voice guy, whatever he is, he just wasted. How much longer did he want to drown on before we got the Bischoff? Okay, get to the point. Okay, I'm surprised he didn't drop his name in the middle of all those. All right, that 2-second little NWO ripoff thing was one of the shittiest things I've ever heard in my life. I'm sorry. Do I agree?
No, absolutely. I completely forgot by the end of the time where they droned on and on and on about this bullshit new scheme they got going on. Yes, at the very beginning, that and Mike could. I'm going to make you do it, Mike. You're going to whip up a quick one that is much more like the actual NWO. That weird sounding.
Yeah.
Like it was not even close. It's like you're on with Eric Bischoff. Like, shouldn't he have a little bit more pride in it as well?
Put a little bass in your voice, why don't you? I mean, my God, like you literally sounds like a.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
That's John Alba.
The following is paid for by the Podstars. Hey, shut up, yeah. God! Why don't you go tweet about your crappy music or your thoughts about some safe, tweet friendly thoughts about wrestling, so people like you and share your shit. Just because you want to be liked by everybody and, oh, I'm just so great. Oh, I won an Emmy. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at my Emmy Awards. I'm so great. Everybody respect me. Shut up. Go away. Go put some more makeup on your face. You suck and you sound like.
I got another clip just for you, Chad.
Is it Alba?
Yeah, it's going to. This clip is going to get your go and mine in the same clip. Ready?
Christian Cage, Jay Riso, a guy you're very familiar with from over the years. What's your assessment of him in terms of the quality of work that he does? I feel like a lot of people look at him as one of the most underrated contributors to the wrestling space of the last 20 years.
You know what I like about
Christian Cage?
So not only does he do the underrated, he does, and this is the main reason why I can't stand John Alba. He'll talk normally. He's got the guy's a professional sounding guy for 95% of the time. And then, it's like he'll do the vocal fry thing, and the end of his sentences, he'll just sound like he's going to die.
Play it back. I obviously walked away for a second. Play it back.
Yeah. Listen, pay attention to the end. He gets on.
So I feel like a lot of people look at him as one of the most underrated contributors to the wrestling space of the last 20 years.
You know, in the last 20 years.
Yeah, the guy who's been gainfully employed since the late 90s and probably on the greatest heel run of his career well into his 50s. Yeah, he's that horrible phrase that I won't say. Yeah. I'm sure when he's sitting on his multi millions of dollars, that's how he should be viewed by his peers, not some girl sounding podcaster with a weak voice. That he's underrated. Please just shut up. Just shut up. Go tweet it. Go tweet it so somebody retweets you and says, I agree. Yeah, maybe we could ask who's the greatest intercontinental champion next. Why don't we ask that? Maybe we'll throw Christian into that discussion. Maybe William Regal should have held the world title. How about that one? That's a good one. That's a safe one. He's an asshole. He sucks. He has a horrible opinion. Yeah, Eric Bischoff. Yeah, he worked with Christian. Good take. Good take. So he knows a lot about him. That's a good. I'm sure they walk by each other at catering and they've seen each other at conventions. But he's how is he underrated? The guy's never not had a job, and when he doesn't want money, he can walk away and go sit on millions of dollars. Where's the underrated part of his career?
Jesus, Mike, did you have to do that?
Give him riled up.
Well, fired up.
Speaking of Christian, let's move on to Edge.
Hey, John Alba, speaking of Christian, go fuck yourself.
I mean,
good segue into that.
I'm not sure the link there, but
well, no, that's a great segue because that's what Christian said to Edge on the new AEW episode.
Oh, okay. I see that very much. Yeah.
And speaking of that newest AEW episode, Dynamite, some good friends of ours, some real wrestling scholars, some wrestling historians, the WWR crew, they predicted very, very wrongly that it would go over 1 million viewers for that episode, just because Edge was on it. Like, come on, man.
Edge wasn't there. It was Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland. Yeah, they predicted over 1 million. Here, check this one out.
I guarantee you that, especially with Dynamite this week coming up, you're going to see a big tick in the ratings.
A big tick. Not an uptick, but just a tick.
Yeah, but Lyme disease tick, the tick, the old cartoon from Fox Kids. Is that what he saw? Fucking idiot.
They will get over 1 million this week because
I think you're right. I think they're gonna bust over 1 million this week for sure with him coming on.
Gonna bust over 1 million.
They're gonna bust over 1 million. That's fucking great.
I think I miss these guys. Disappointment for them. I think it would be a big disappointment for them.
Yeah,
but I definitely think that they hit over 1 million this week at least. I think
if you look at this new graphic that they have, could you bring that back?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of this, and I feel kind of bad now looking back and seeing all the bad shit we had about him. I wasn't aware that John Wangland was like the fish boy, right? He had like the claw hand. I wasn't aware of that. Have you ever seen the old vaudeville, the old shows, the circus freaks, the lobster boy, right? I wasn't aware that John Wangland had the same affliction as that guy. Fucking asshole! Look at these two stupid assholes.
And what is with that? Because that's actually a go fuck yourself kind of thing. The old two fingers. Isn't that the old piece, dude? What the fuck is that hand gesture? I guess is what I'm saying. They're both doing it.
Yeah, and you know what? They weren't like in the same room or doing the same photo session. Like they must have. One of them said to the other one, "Hey, do this hand signal for our picture." Okay.
No, wrong. That means wrong. This was taken off of both of their personal phones because they were both posing for pictures like that. Now, if anybody's ever seen a picture of me when I, work with athletes and celebrities, the thing I do, I call it the Chadster point, right? I point at the person. It's the thing I do, right? Because I work with athletes and celebrities. These two idiots, I'm sure Martin is taking a picture of himself. Wangland is posing for a picture. Maybe he's even doing the same thing. These guys just did this on their own and took this out of their camera roll. And whoever created their logo that they paid for on Fiverr, they sent the picture and they were both doing the stupid thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, the distance Wangland's fingers are apart, like that doesn't look normal, does it?
He's lobster boy. Look at him. Yeah. It looks like he's got an affliction with his hand. Yeah. Whoever cropped the hand, he literally looks like the guy Lobster Boy.
It does. Yeah, you're right. It blends in with the logo. Yeah, very good.
All right. So thank you, Matt Wilson, for that submission. We're going to get back to these guys later on in the show. It's real unfortunate that Joe is not with us because I wanted to play some other clips from a different show about Joe. Yeah, but we're gonna play him anyway.
Oh, thank God. Joe no longer with us. We already had one death hoax on Get My Go. Let's not start any rumors.
Oh, that was what I was gonna do. I remember that's the joke I thought of this morning. I was gonna say it's almost Halloween, and like Jesus, I'm back from the dead.
All right, this is from another favorite show of Chad, The Dirty Sheets with Billi Bhatti.
Is my man Cav on here?
No, unfortunately, Cav is not on this one. And
interesting.
Yeah, Billy's guest star in this one is none other than Brad Shepard.
Hey guys, you are listening to the Dirty Sheets podcast. Now, as you guys knew, Cav was not doing the show for around 16 weeks because of the NFL, and we were going to have regular replacement guests on the show, but we weren't supposed to have those guests.
I mean, the guy's got tremendous audio quality right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
There's like a nice background hum.
Yeah, just waiting for that fax to finish sending. And,
oh, wait till Brad comes in. Brad's audio is even worse. Check this out.
But in back-to-back weeks. But the situation has changed. Things have happened this week, and the only person I would want to discuss them with is the same guest that we had previously. So at this point, let me reintroduce you again to Mr. Brad Shepard.
How's it going, Billy?
Oh, Jesus.
How's it going for you?
Hey, you sound great. You sound awesome. Thanks for coming back.
How's it going, Billy?
How's it going for you? I figured we'd have you on a couple of times over the 3 months because you're a popular guest. But with everything that's happened, and obviously looking at your Twitter account as well, I thought that it made the most sense to have you straight back on.
I don't remember Brad's audio being bad when he was with Rad Rob on the Rad Rob Radio Network.
It is the one and only aforementioned Brad Shepard. Good morning, sir.
My mama told me I was special.
By the way, what are the chances that you were able to pick the name Brad Shepard Unleashed for a podcast, and your name also happens to be Brad Shepard? Do you ever think about that?
No, but I get a lot of tweets where it's like, "Oh, but he's unleashed."
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right I am.
Rob's good with audio.
Yeah, we got to credit Rob. Rob has A+ sound. I'll give him that credit. And he wouldn't stand for this.
So was the point of what he said at the end there, like, I've been watching your Twitter, and like people are like talking about how great it was and that, because I mean it certainly drifted by without me noticing it all in my life, but was that the sort of inference that people needed Billy and Brad back together?
Yeah.
The shamble-filled fucking podcast.
He's got Brad on as his guest, but the funny thing is, Billy goes off for 12 minutes before Brad is able to speak. So, we'll skip around. We'll get to it.
The first thing we'll talk about, because it's a lot quicker and it does directly involve me, but again, it's a situation where we were right, is this K100 situation.
Okay, so he's been off the show for like 6 months now, right? He's been off Keeping It 100 for that long, and he's still... every day. There are two things that Billy will never ever stop tweeting about and doing shows about. It's number one is the confrontation with him and Sean Ross Sapp at Starcast last year, 2 Starcasts ago. He's still talking about that every day. So if you want to tweet Billy about Sean Ross Sapp, he will respond to you. So go ahead and do that. And then the other thing is, he will never stop talking about Keeping It 100.
Actually did start from you, which is weird. Because you were going back and forth about something with Conrad Thompson, sorry. And I'll get the background from you, and your background with Conrad as well, if there is any. But through that conversation, I was defensive of whatever point you're making, which again, we'll talk about in a second. It led to him popping up in my DMs. Now, don't fall for the disingenuinity of Conrad Thompson.
Is that a word?
Disingenuinity.
That's the episode title.
Yes.
Husey wanted us to put John Alba's name in the title. but I'm sorry, that's not going to happen now.
You can write John Alba and Disingenuinity or whatever you just said.
Yeah, no, John Alba's Disingenuinity. Go fuck yourself.
Does go hand in hand, so that does make perfect sense. I just don't, looking at Billy's name spelled with an I is just it's annoying me right now because, again, I just usually see Y at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean his real name is Nabil. It's either Nabil or Nabeen.
I think it's Nabil, and I imagine the folks of fucking London there, mate, couldn't be saying Nabil, so they're like, you can be fucking Billy. That's you're Billy, you fucking prick. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do our London listeners, does Billy mean like stupid asshole in London? You're being a Billy.
In this next clip, Billy's trying to take credit for something to wrestle with, which was Conrad's first, big podcast. He's trying to take credit for that becoming popular.
Good for him.
We actually enjoyed the show. We immediately got him and Bruce Pritchard on for an interview. And again, that was also when we were at our utmost peak. And it was my show was simulcasting on the Dirty Sheets and on Sportskeeda. So all of the Indian fans that we had over on Sportskeeda got an introduction to Conrad Thompson, and he wanted that. So he was all cordial and good with us and happy to come on. And then we started to get into some run-ins with some people, and suddenly he didn't know us. So that's kind of how he is.
Really? He doesn't want to do business with people who cause fucking problems all the time? What a crazy, crazy fella.
Yeah.
He's out there. 2-man power trip, creative control, something to wrestle, the ad-free shows universe, all started in the year 2015. Okay. Obviously, everybody's on different levels of podcast world. I first found out about Billi Bhatti when he joined Keeping It 100. So I don't know what in God's name he's talking about. Sportskeeda had been carrying 2-man power trip interviews probably since whenever they really made the jump, I guess, into the wrestling world. Not once did I ever see Billi Bhatti, the name Billi Bhatti, Dirty Sheets, the name Dirty, never once. So I mean, I have no friggin' idea who he was, or had no friggin' idea who he was until he joined Keeping It 100.
And the first time I heard about him was a little bit before that when he was on Russo's brand.
Was he on Russo before Keeping It 100? Okay, I thought it was vice versa. So no, it was when he hit Russo, then it was Keeping It 100. I thought it was vice versa. My bad.
Well, it's funny because, it was Russo, and it was the brand Facebook group where I first started hearing about Billy. And one thing, and because Billy's had his Twitter shut down so many times, I don't think the video is available anymore. But the video that Billy did when he left Russo and then went on with K100, that is one of the most fucking cringe thing I've ever seen. Where he's sitting on his couch and he calls Conan. He's like, "Hey, Conan, you want to do this?"
No, that was bad. I do remember that. That was bad.
Oh. It was like a 7-minute clip that could have been 45 seconds and been a lot better. Got the point across quicker, but he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But this next clip, we're not going to play this now because Joe's not here to listen to it. But it's 8 minutes it's 8 minutes of Billy telling his twisted, incorrect version of what happened at StarCast with, how Joe was supposed to get him a media pass and all that shit.
But wasn't that last year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was last summer. It wasn't summer 2023. It was summer 2022. Yeah.
Let it go, man. Like, who gives a flying fuck? Who just shut up? God almighty.
His version of the story is a total fabrication. The guy's delusional. So of course the story's gonna be delusional. It's we'll do this. We'll do this in the future when Joe's on. But I think
thanks, Joe. I wanted to listen to that.
It's great. No, we're gonna save it. We're definitely gonna do
everyone. What is it? JF Feeney 3RD. That's his Twitter.
Yeah.
Tweet bomb him with "fuck you." We wanted to hear that clip.
All right, so here we are, 12 minutes and 50 seconds into the episode. This is where Brad finally gets to speak. If you follow Brad Shepard on Twitter, I actually agree with the majority of Brad's political commentary and his retweets and all that stuff. One thing I think is horrendous is when he thinks it's funny to give his own names to people, like the wrestlers.
Oh
like,
God!
He hilariously calls Triple H Noseman Paul. Like that's so. I mean, the guy is a comedic genius.
You're more likely to use that. Like, it's funnier if he's a cokehead. Everyone knows he's a cokehead. That's a funnier nickname.
Yeah,
not
because he has a big nose. I mean,
yeah. What are you, 5?
So he's got some clever nicknames for Conan and Disco.
Careers that were 25 years ago, and neither of them were main eventers by any means.
Yeah, but Disco and Ferdy, he's got
Disco Inferti. What the fuck does that mean?
He's mixed up Glenn Gilberti and Disco Inferno. He's put it together.
Oh my God.
The Disco and Ferdy, he's got the Kermit the Frog voice,
Oh, well,
wow,
take.
that's never been said before. Never heard that one before.
Jeez.
And he says things on the internet he doesn't believe just to troll people. But yeah, that old Glenn Gilbernetti.
Glenn Gilbernetti. There's another one. He's got 2 names for him.
Well, that's an old one. Glenn Gilbernetti.
There's like a Twitter account for that one.
So he's calling him the name that Russo calls him as a joke that 2 friends have had for 30-something years.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to him just being incorrectly announced on the show one day, and everyone laughed at him. And so then, anyway.
He's so cool. Conan, he's so cool, pretending not to know my name. Those guys they're keeping it 100, Billy. I don't know if you knew that.
And that's the thing. Like that.
They forget all of our names. They forget everybody. They've heard our names 1,000 times.
But this week he's going to have Chad Zumach on the show, and Chad's going to go over all the.
I don't even know this guy, and I don't like the name. What's his name? Chad? Like the Chadster?
Chad Zumach. Yeah, he's a comedian.
They forget everybody. Who gives a shit? Like I'm going to lose sleep at night. They make fun of the Chadster name. Like the Aussie Guy. They've heard your name 50,000 times. The Aussie Guy's kind of something you might remember, right? Because it's so out there, you don't hear something like that. Who? Right?
Who?
Do you sit there and go, man, I'm so deflated. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
But also, Conan doesn't remember his own name. Come on, like Brad, it's not. He's not big timing you. He just honestly doesn't remember.
All right, now we'll get into the main clip of the show.
Oh boy,
people.
That was the appetizer.
That was just just a little few.
Oh my God,
little clips.
Who knew Chad was going to get so angry about the entree?
He did. That's why he brought it.
Yeah, good point.
People have been wanting us to do the what's the name of the radio? They have a radio show now, so they're on.
It's a radio show.
Yeah, radio. Retro Wrestling Revival Podcast. That's the name of the radio.
Wait,
show.
It's a Wrestling Revival Podcast. Sorry, the Retro Wrestling Revival Podcast radio show.
Yeah, it's on some local Atlanta internet radio station.
Okay, let me defend. Hang on, let me defend that. Okay, let me defend why the word podcast being used on the radio can be defended. The way radio is going these days in America, we are seeing a lot of radio companies purchasing podcast shows to broadcast on airwaves as a way to fill content hours. So back in the day, they would have, like the friggin', religious hour come on and fill an hour on their overnight to take the time in the schedule so they can have the broadcast day filled, right? So if they find a show, and in this case, the Wrestling Revival, whatever podcast, right? They're filling their time with that. Now, like I had said, they're paying, in this case, like these idiots are not getting paid to do this, is what I'm trying to get to. No, they're not getting paid to do this, right? They're paying to be on the air, is what I'm trying to say. It's pay for play. Like these, and it's an internet radio station. So they found a channel, this radio station, which I think is I won't spoil it if you're going to reveal what radio station it is, but they probably found a cheap signal that was available, pulled some funds together, purchased it, and essentially have the range of about a block and a half in a neighborhood. So I mean, but you can get them online. So there you go. Now you're a radio station.
Yep. So they're on twice a week. They pay. Well, I'm sure it's John. John's probably paying for the whole thing. They're paying for airtime. They're on for like an hour each time. I think Wednesdays and Saturdays. Is that what it is? No, it's Saturday and Sundays. I'm thinking of the Beaver Show, another hit show. So they're on Saturday and Sundays for an hour. And it's not, if you miss it, you can't listen to it. You have to catch it when it's on. It's not archived anywhere. Unless you have a great good friend, Matt Wilson, who records all the shows for us.
Christ, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Matt is the best. He even has like an AI written transcript of every episode.
Yes.
Like some kind of computer magic. You can actually read their words.
He's insane.
Yeah,
and
you
we love
can.
him.
Yeah, you could read. I could, when I see him, I could tell when it's my quote or if it's a Dean quote or it's Husey. And if it's a bunch of misused words in a sentence, I could see it's John, or I could see if it's JD or Otaku. You can tell.
So I haven't clipped this episode. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I don't think I can listen to an hour of this shit, but we're going to listen to, a few minutes of it. We'll see how far we get into it. We're going to see what is so important that they are purchasing airtime to talk about.
I do have to say though, it's not a bad tactic, because like if you're dumb enough to be listening to the radio and listening to a wrestling show, you're probably dumb enough to be a fan of theirs. So not a bad way to drag in new listeners.
So again, this is called the Retro Wrestling Revival radio show. In one of their graphics, it said that they're a mixture of retro content and current modern day stuff too. It's like, well, why is it called the Retro Wrestling Revival show if you're mixing it up? Yeah,
you gotta squeeze it all in. The current Retro Wrestling Revival, I guess, didn't sound right on the marquee.
You're listening to the Retro Wrestling Revival Podcast, a show for wrestling fans by wrestling fans. Join us each episode as we take a look back at some of the greatest moments in professional wrestling history. And now, your hosts of the Retro Wrestling Revival, Brother Martin and John Wangland.
So on all their graphics, it says with John and Chris. The Fiverr intro guy that they paid, it says Brother Martin and John Wangland.
Branding.
Yeah, branding.
I was hoping for Johnny podcasting. Because I always do like hearing these pre-produced bits where they go, Johnny podcasting.
Scandinavian god.
Yeah, exactly. So I was disappointed about that. But you know what? Like, well done on paying for one and making it sound a little bit professional.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go with Lex Luger's intro.
All right, it is Sunday, fun day. It's football day. Hope everybody's doing wonderful. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful weekend. Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Revival Podcast. I am John Wangland, and of course, joining me every single week is my partner, my best friend, the man, the myth, the legend in his own mind, the king of stutter style.
He just ripped his buddy there. You just ripped your friend, you stupid asshole.
His best friend. He's not his great good friend anymore. He's his best friend.
Well, I was glad we got man, the myth, the legend in his own mind. Like, but he just cannot get to just introducing someone. Like, it is amazing how he's just got to keep adding things and adding things and adding things.
I mean, every show, anytime he has a guest on, this is going back 4 or 5 years. Everyone that comes on is the man, the myth, the legend.
Yep.
Everybody.
Well, can I preface my intro of the Aussie Guy today is because the Aussie Guy always jokes that I call everybody else the great or the amazing or the wonderful. So that's why I called him all those wonderful, lovely intro names earlier in the podcast. So now I got to defend myself so I don't sound like Wangland.
The man with the stutter is smooth as butter. He knows hard times, baby. He knows good times. He is.
Still hasn't introduced him. We stopped and talked. He was probably still talking that whole time.
Yeah. He's got to throw in every kind of wrestling nickname for Brother Martin.
Brother Martin, Chris Martin. How you doing, my friend?
Brother, I'm doing fantastic, man. I cannot wait to dive into our topics tonight. But you know what, man? It's been an absolute fun ride recently with everything that's been going on with the radio show, with Facebook, with everything else, man. Like, we have truly started... we're gaining momentum like crazy, and it's snowballing. And I just want to say to everybody out there, this is for fans, by fans, and for the fans out there that are making this all possible.
I mean, technically, isn't every wrestling podcast for fans, by fans? I mean, there's no non-wrestling fans who are doing wrestling shows. I don't think there's any.
What it is? Shut up. Who cares about who's listening? It's growing. Shut up.
No, but also, like, they're the ones who make it possible. How? Like, you know, like, unless you are actually making money for it and you're making it a job, your listeners aren't making it possible. You are, by going, all right, let's get together and talk wrestling.
And a little inside podcasting. If you have to tell people how much your show's growing, it's not.
Exactly. My show's plummeting.
You always joke about it. You're always like, you know what? You just said it before. You're like, I would have killed for 500 subscribers. Yeah. Like you'll be transparent if you need to be. Anytime a show comes on, like, well, yeah, we're growing. We're doing this. We're growing, and we're every single week. It's like, who gives a fuck? I'm here listening. So why do I care if anybody else is? I'm listening. Just focus on me as your listener. And you got to say it every single week. You're lying.
Yeah.
So you're already disingenuous starting your show.
Fans out there that are making this all possible. Thank you. Me and John, we are forever grateful, because ultimately one of our dreams was to be involved within the wrestling business. We physically can't wrestle ourselves. So this is our ticket, by God. This is awesome. Thank you.
I can't even physically walk these days, let alone get in the ring, man. So,
you cripple?
Yeah, I am. What can I say? I can whack people with my cane. That's about it.
oh God, yeah, man. And you know, for me, which all it takes is a nice body slam, and that could paralyze me. So yeah, that's yeah.
Didn't he tweet? Didn't he say, like, on a show like a year ago he was going to start doing wrestling training?
Yeah, he said.
Whatever happened to that?
It was great. Well, apparently one body slam couldn't paralyze him. You know, he's going to lean back into that gimmick. But no, because you remember, because with Daniel Bryan coming back and Edge coming back and Christian coming back and, you know, all these different people, he thought, I could do it. I could get over my lifetime of not doing anything and become a wrestler. Yeah.
Are they pretending like they are workers? Like what
they said they're in this is their ticket to being in the wrestling business. Yeah. They think they're in the wrestling business now.
Having a wrestling podcast doesn't make you any more in the wrestling business as buying a ticket to watch a wrestling show in an arena.
Nope.
So I mean, like, what dude? I mean, like, this is the Lex Luger music still playing in the background. It was the first indication you're not taking this seriously. If you wanted to, I hate giving advice like this. If you wanted to take this seriously, you would have found some non-copyrighted music to make it original, to sound different, right? You would have made it literally try to stand out. First bar we heard, and maybe, just maybe, get a microphone that didn't sound like you were standing 15 feet away from, you know, your laptop, to sound like maybe you're professional. So what if somebody was on the radio listening to you and be like, oh, wow, this wrestling shows exactly what I was looking for my grand network of superstars that I'm growing.
It is crazy. Like, even on that scale, that measure, let's say, you know, if you become a big wrestling podcast, you're in the wrestling business. Like, I'm more in the wrestling business, if that's the case, just through Get My Go. Like, more wrestling fans have heard the show and all that. It's insanity to think that you're in it just because you're talking about it. Like, and it's funny, like, even like all the wrestling journalists and all that, like, it just makes me laugh the way they bicker and fight. Like, you don't see Adam Schefter and, you know, Jay Glazer and all that beefing on Twitter about who had the scoop and who had the right story. Like, it's all just silliness around this fucking wrestling fandom.
Yeah. Right. And they don't think they're football players because they break a scoop on who's going to a new team, or they don't think they're the GM because they found out about a trade. They don't ever portray themselves like that. Every single friggin' idiot thinks that they're in the wrestling industry because they watch or they talk about it or whatever. You're not. And it's just becoming more and more pathetic to see the newer fans and these people like these two idiots that, again, go way back into the Get My Go archive to hear the plain podcaster analogy. And it's so on display here. I'll give them credit. Now, I will say that intro that was given to them, that was not a Fiverr intro. That was done by whatever station they're on, whatever affiliate this is, created that. Okay. And whoever it was, whatever guy, whatever voiceover talent that did that and had to put those words down onto paper had wasted whatever amount of time it took to produce that. And I actually feel bad for the guy. What a waste of his day that he had to make that.
We're just wrapping up our second month this weekend here on WDJY 99.1 FM. Yes, already. It's been an absolute blast, and we're so thankful for the wonderful opportunity that the great folks at WDJY and Hype Media Group have provided us here. And we hope we're doing a wonderful job, and hopefully everybody's enjoying the show and checking it out every weekend. And we're having an absolute blast doing it. And we got another great topic, as always, tonight.
We do.
There's so many topics that we always kind of come up with and fun things that we got going on here each week on the Retro Wrestling Revival. So if you're checking us out for the first time here on 99.1 FM, we are here every Saturday and Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. And every Monday night on our Facebook and YouTube channel, the Retro Wrestling Revival Podcast. That's all you have to do is just go look it up over there, and you can find us out and what we're doing on Monday nights. Tell them a little bit about what we're doing on Monday nights, Chris.
Brother, this is the beautiful thing about the Monday nights is that we are doing.
Sorry, before Brother Martin gets going, I love, again, like folks at home, get your drinks out and go back and take a drink every time Johnny Podcasting says hope or hopefully.
Wonderful,
he does that.
wonderfully.
Yes. And then like reiterates the same point he made. You know, hopefully we're having a blast doing this. I hope we're all doing well. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it. We're having a blast doing it. You know, it's amazing repetition that he's got going on. And then he put an over there in there, which was good. Always love his over there's. But yeah, that were my thoughts on hearing Johnny podcasting again for the first time in a while. He's still the same Johnny podcasting.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling was during the late 90s through like the early 2000s. And the thing is that there's nothing better growing up as a wrestling fan than the Monday Night Wars, the WWF versus WCW. You have DX, you have NWO, Sting, the Attitude Era. And you know what? We are reliving those memories week by week by week. Okay. And like we just recently did a watch along to Monday Night Raw this past Wednesday. And you know what? Check it out. Let us know what you think. And you know what? We encourage all passionate fans. Let your voices be heard. Let us know what you want to see because we are taking requests as well. But
what you want to see? It's on a radio show.
Yeah.
And even if if they're streaming on Facebook, they can't show the WWF footage.
No, they learned that lesson the hard way. Also, it was just so disjointed. Like, I became a wrestling fan because the Attitude Era, and we're going to relive those memories. But also go check out our watch along of Monday Night Raw. I was like, wait, is it now or then, or what are we? It just sort of jumbled in there. It wasn't very clear.
It's so good. We're going to skip ahead to the 31-minute mark.
But let's get to our final segment of the show tonight, and let's talk about the greatest wrestling feuds of all time, because there's so many good ones. And as I always say every time we do one of these lists, Chris, there's so many times we can go back and look at this because we just can't include everyone. So I'm sure we're going to go back and revisit some of these.
How about they take some calls? They're on a radio station. Why don't they do that?
The answer is because they're not doing it live. Pre-recorded. Yeah, both shows.
Oh, but I thought they were on a radio station.
Yeah, but you said it earlier about when I said it's the, blah, blah, blah podcast radio show. And then you defended it saying, oh, it's labeled podcast because they, da-da-da.
Yeah, but he just he said, we want to hear from you. He said it before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He just said it. We want to hear from you. So I'm assuming they're about to take calls.
Many times we can go back and look at this because we just can't include everyone. So I'm sure we're going to go back and revisit some of these. amazing wrestling feuds that just seem like they're timeless because you can go back and watch them and love them to this day and still go back and enjoy them. So
he just said like the same thing twice, but like slightly different.
Yeah, exactly. What are we? What's the tip here on these two great geniuses and their top 5 feuds? Are we thinking what Hogan and Savage, Austin McMahon, maybe Austin and The Rock? Who else are the obvious?
Hogan
ones?
Andre, Hogan Savage,
Steamboat Flair.
Steamboat Flair will be in there for sure.
Yeah,
I reckon we've probably named it. I think we named 6 feuds
because they've done this. Dude, they've done this 36 times on various shows that they've done over the past 5 years. They've done this so many times. You know, greatest feuds, greatest tag teams, greatest person to never be a world champion, and it's always Scott Hall somehow.
Yeah,
they do the
William
same
Regal.
shit.
I said it before.
Yeah, William Regal. They do the same shit every time, dude.
Or Kurt Hennig, which everyone always points out. He was a world champion. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to say this right now, okay? Many people, they consider this the greatest feud of all time, and you have the greatest babyface of all time facing what many people consider the greatest heel of all time, and that is Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair. You talk about
we got one.
Mike Durban for the win.
The epitome of good versus evil. You have, like, the straight-laced guy, like the family man, facing like the womanizer, the guy that values money over everything else. And just the trilogy of matches that they had together was absolutely outstanding. Okay. You had the matches from 1989, like the Chi-Town Rumble, which in my opinion was their best matchup. Absolutely outstanding. And Flair, we give him like a lot of shit on the show because of how repetitive his style.
They're calling somebody else repetitive.
Yeah. Good one. Oh no, what 1-year-old brother Martin was loving Steamboat and Flair.
Brother Martin was born in like '88, so he didn't watch this.
They heard what everybody else said about it.
Yeah,
they just regurgitated the facts back out.
He literally just regurgitated it. It's like the 3 matches in '89. Like again, I dived a little bit into wrestling for a while, and then like I'm completely out of it now. But all of these quote unquote facts that these guys present, I'm like, yeah, I could spit that garbage out as well. Like doesn't make me an expert on wrestling or someone you should listen to.
I could literally say this quite honestly. Listening to John Alba earlier in the show and listening to Martin and Wangland, they're all on the same level in my eyes. Because that's how bad they all sound. And I mean, that's not anything but the truth. Because that's how amateur they all sounded on this show.
Yeah. You don't think Alba's above them in any way?
Not even this much.
I mean, slightly. Doesn't he like get paid to do it?
He's got an Emmy award or 2. That's the only thing he's got going for him. But just ask him and he'll tell you.
What do you get an Emmy for?
Singing.
Douchebaggery.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can't listen to any more of that shit.
That's terrible. That is just awful. Awful.
Can you get Matt Wilson onto it, and can you get him to find out the top 5 or tell us the top 5 and see how fucking right we were? You know what I mean?
Bet you they ran out of time.
And get him to give you timestamps so you could possibly even drop the clips in while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I reckon we've nailed it. I think we named 6 feuds. I reckon we got their top 5s in those 6 feuds.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe next time we do their show, I'll clip it in advance. We'll listen to the best parts of it.
The best
I
parts.
tried. I forget when it was that I messaged you, Mike. It was months and months ago. But like I was like, I'd noticed that they'd got back into full-fledged podcasting. And I'm like,
because I wonder why. Well, like all of a sudden John has a lot of free time to do all this shit.
Yeah, well, that's
Weird.
interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
He got a cane. He can't walk. He just said it. He's like got classy Freddie Blassie on the outside of the ring.
But yeah, I kind of went, look, they're comfortable now. They know we're not listening anymore, so they're just gonna be them. Yeah. And I went and clicked on it and started listening for about 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm just bored of these guys now. Like I can't do it like I used to. Like it is just the same stuff over and over, and it's like, they're not even fucking up in a funny way anymore. It's just sort of boring.
I don't know what else more there is to say about that.
Well, there's nothing else that can be said about that atrocity. I wish that we could get more info on the Pete Pacheco mystery podcast. That's
that
the one
been fun to do, something fresh. Yeah,
that would have been something. Yeah. And the other thing that we forgot to leave out about that whole thing was on the heels of all the Teddy Hart drama.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we never got to.
Did he ever? Did Rad Rob ever do his Hannibal shoot interview?
Nope. Another thing he advertised really big for half a week, and then it just didn't happen.
So, I mean, there's a whole lot of time that just stuff just got wiped away. That would have been some just killer content. So that was very upsetting when that all got wiped off the table.
Yeah.
That Teddy Hart podcast was a banger.
Is that still available? Can we do one of those?
Probably not, actually.
Wiped from existence. So hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you guys got going on? Dean.
United States of Australia. We're on YouTube now. Please go over and subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that bullshit. Like our shit, comment on our shit. We do live streams. I think sort of try and do them once a fortnight or at least a couple a month. It's nice to have some interaction with the three people that are watching. But people that comment and all that, it sort of helps with the show. It's a different take. And then I've got some Chad episodes about to be released. We did some baseball talk, and we also did a top 5 sports movies. Speaking of top 5s, but yeah, it was a different discussion for me. I'm not a big movie guy, but I've always loved sports movies, and we all know Chad and his fucking horn for sports and the Mets in particular. I
diversified that list for you.
Yeah, yes, you did. It was very good. Check out United States of Australia on your podcast platforms, youtube.com/@United States of Australia. And hit me up on Twitter at that sussy guy. Just imagine that Aussie guy and put an S where the A should be.
Chad.
Eyes up here on YouTube, youtube.com. And I'm really looking at the URL name. It's like at ECW Diva Francine with an exclamation point. But just go to the search bar, type in Eyes Up Here Francine, or type in ECW Diva Francine or Francine ECW, and the podcast will come up. New content coming every week, and a ginormous, huge podcast announcement coming very soon to social media, which you can follow me at Chad IANB on Twitter and at IB Exclusives on Instagram. And new shirt on belowthecollar.com. Drinks on Doug, tribute to my brother. If you ever see him in public and he buys you a drink, go buy a t-shirt.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Durband and at Get My Go Show, youtube.com/Mike Durband and youtube.com/GetMyGo. This will be a video episode. So people that have been complaining about audio
put the Chadster face on for a reason today.
Yeah.
You can watch you can watch my left shoulder just fade in and out the whole episode. Don't know what's with that. Well, why is only one portion of my shirt disappearing? It's very weird.
All right, take us out, Chad.
Well, this was quite the emotional roller coaster, but nonetheless, we close out episode number 85 the way we always should. For Mike Durband, for the Aussie Guy, this is your old buddy, the Chadster. We will catch you on the flip side.
Peace.